before I'm going to hit it this time because it's the best one. The slogan is, if you snooze, you lose. And indeed, if that is the case, there are only so many money-making opportunities to be had, and he's going to tell you where they all are. It's the one and only Black Bookie. It's Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe, how are you today?
Good evening, America. Welcome to the Snooze You Lose podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Joe. This is a sports and a sports betting podcast where the motto is and always will be win together, lose together. Thanks for joining us here another week on Millions. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the stream with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Bookie. New listeners, old listeners, you know how we rock. We don't try and take up too much of your time. So we're going to get right into it. This is going to be probably one of our shorter streams. I'm not going to lie. Don't have a lot prepared. Was traveling yesterday. Didn't really see much of the games. Was an ugly card to begin with. A lot of the games stunk to begin with. But I was out supporting a friend. They had their event going on, so I was showing some support, some love. So didn't really get to see much of the games. Do got to play I like tonight in the NBA. So I appreciate you guys for joining me. I think what we're going to do is maybe drop a special episode during the week on like Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Eve, something like that to kind of make up for it. But this is going to be a long show. Just a few things on my mind I want to talk about. And it's always good to check in with you guys. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope everybody's getting ready for the holidays. Christmas is coming. Thanksgiving is coming. New Year's will be here. So a lot going on. So I hope everybody's doing well out there. Like I said, share the stream. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's dive into it. Monday Night Football, we'll kick it off with there first. Chiefs, Eagles, rematch, Super Bowl rematch, where the Eagles got the best of the Chiefs last time. Right now, the line sits at 2.5, over under at 45.5. I was, for the most part, going to leave this game alone. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. Two of the best teams in the league. One of my top 5 that I've talked about that could win the Super Bowl this year. I lean slightly towards the Chiefs, though. The thing that's interesting, too, about this matchup, both of these teams coming off a bye, which usually a team has an advantage there. They got a little bit more rest, but both of these teams coming off a bye this week. I like the Chiefs, though, in Arrowhead. Of course, got to have a little bit more motivation with getting some revenge and losing in that Super Bowl. And you guys know me. I don't like to talk about it. I think I've said it one time out of 4 or 5 episodes. But the numbers don't lie. When T Swift's in the building, the Chiefs' offensive numbers are different. And apparently she's going to be there. She's going to be at this matchup. I think she's supposed to be, I don't know, they talk about some nonsense, her meeting the family or something, not the mom, but the rest of the family or something. I don't know. I really don't care. But the numbers don't lie. Somehow, some way. I know it don't matter. I know she doesn't play on the field. I know she doesn't coach. I know she has absolutely nothing to do with it. But for some reason, though, this year when she's there, they're better offensively. And we can't – I want to turn the other way. I've ignored it as long as I can. You guys know me. We do not talk about that on this show. But when she's there, they do play better offensively. And the Eagles have not – even though still, 8-1, still looking very dominant, they got some kinks in their armor. They're not as dominant as they look as when they went on that Super Bowl run. I mean, a tough game against the Commanders. I know it was a division game, but a tough game against Washington. They barely squeaked out. We know they had that loss to the Jets. Then a tough game against the Cowboys. I know a division rival, but a game they honestly should have lost. Their defense has not been as lights out as we've seen it in the past or even last year. So this is going to be a shootout, I think, as well. I think this game does go over. I don't have anything personally on that number, though, but I think it goes over. And, I mean, these two teams, it's like looking in the mirror. 2 explosive quarterbacks that can make plays with their arms, can make plays with their legs. Advantage here, though, you give definitely to the Eagles wide receivers. Definitely a better receiving core on Philadelphia. A lot of young receivers on Kansas City besides Kelsey. So you got to imagine that they're going to double Kelsey as much as they can. They're going to force other guys to make plays. Running game also advantage to the Eagles. More yards on the ground. They're 8th in the league with 129 yards per game. Kansas City sits 19th at 103. So, second half of the pack, while the Eagles are right there in the first half, and that's what they're going to try and do. You're in Arrowhead. It's going to be on Monday Night Football, prime time. It's going to be rocking. That building's going to be shaking. So you're going to want to look to run the ball with Swift. You're going to look to want to extend the plays with Jalen Hurts and eat up the ground, eat up clock to keep Mahomes on that sideline. But defensively, surprisingly, where the Chiefs, normally not their strength, this year their defense has been top-notch. Points per game, they are second in the NFL. So it hasn't been Patrick Mahomes in the offense carrying this team. Their defense has been getting it done. And I think they're going to show up tonight and make it difficult for Jalen Hurts. They're going to have to try and get them off the field. That stupid push, whatever the stupid play is called, where they push the quarterback from behind. They're going to have to find a way to try and neutralize that. But second in the league in points, fourth in the league in yards allowed, fourth in the league in passing yards allowed, 17th in rushing, though. So that's their one weakness, I would say, which is still not terrible, right around mid of the pack. But that's where they struggle the most, is stopping the ball on the ground. So that is where the Eagles, if any chance to win this game or to cover this game, that's where they're going to have to exploit this team. It's on the ground with Hurts, with Swift, and eat up the clock. Keep Mahomes on the sideline. But this Chiefs defense, I don't think gets enough credit because we're all so caught up in the T Swift drama and Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and the no-look passes and everything else like that. Their defense is the reason why they're having the year they're having and why they're as good as they are. Sitting right now currently 7-2. They had that tough loss to the Broncos, which it was a matter of time. Can't beat a team like that forever. They beaten the Broncos 19 straight times. It was only a matter of time. So this is going to be a great game. That's why I really didn't want to have any financial ties to it, because I think it's really just going to be a great game to sit back and watch. But I do slightly lean Chiefs. I just think motivation, Super Bowl revenge at home, T Swift in the building. I think the Chiefs and that defense and Mahomes figure out a way. If they could stop the run, that's what's going to come down to. If they could stop the run, that's going to be a difference maker. That'll put them in position to win this game at home. But it's going to be a heck of a game. Like I said, normally, too, you don't get two teams coming off a bye playing each other. Finally, the schedule makers gave us a good game on Monday night. But I think it's going to be a great matchup. But I got small pizza money on it because I really just want to sit back and enjoy it. I think it's really going to be a good game. I'm hoping it's not going to be a blowout. And I think because the Eagles defense hasn't been as stout as it has been in the past, I do think we see some points. The Eagles are giving up 21 points a game, but they're also averaging 21 points offensively. So I think we see some scoring. I think the over is not a bad play as well, too. I could see both of these quarterbacks easily throwing 2+ TDs. So I could see some offense. I could see some fireworks going off here. I mean, like I said, both these teams, it's like looking in the mirror. Chiefs are 4-1 at home. Eagles 4-1 on the road. Philly has won 3 straight. The Chiefs have won their last game before the bye. So it's going to be a great game. Really just going to be a great game to watch. If you guys got any plays on it, drop it in the chat as well, too. If you guys like anything tonight, props, or what side you're leaning on, definitely drop it in the chat. But I think a great game overall. I slightly lean the Chiefs at home. If I did take it, though, money line, I'm not messing with the points because I could see this coming down, being a 31-30 game. So I did take Chiefs on the money line. I'm not messing with the 2.5. I've always talked about that before, too. In football and in basketball, if it's 3 points or less, I'm not messing around with the points. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to take the team that I think that's going to win. Unless I really like the dog, then I'll take the dog with the points to have some extra insurance. But if I like the favorite and it's 3 or less, I'm just going to take the money line. I'm not going to sit there for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and have my heart broken because they won on a field goal and they win by 1 point. So not doing it. Same thing last night you saw with the Broncos. Broncos -3, some places -2. What happens? They win by 1 point. So that's just my rule of thumb, and I think everybody should stick by that. I know people don't like laying the juice. You rather lay that -110 than that -140 or -145. But if you laid the minus 110 at 2.5, guess what? You lost. So I'd rather lay that minus 140, not even worry about the points, take the W, and go home and go to bed happy. Some other games yesterday, and we'll start actually with the Thursday game. Tough break for Joe Burrow. I mean, a wasted season really for the Bengals. You know, he was hurt in preseason with the calf. Now with his hand, he's got the torn ligament. He's out for the season. There's really no backup for this team, and that is just a tough blow. You know, he worked hard to get back from that calf injury. It got hot, went on a stretch, won four in a row before that game was 1, 2, 3. Yeah, won 4 games in a row. Then they had the loss to the Texans, which kind of schedule watching because they knew they had that big game coming up against the Ravens. And then to just injure his hand like that, I knew it wasn't good once. I didn't think he was going to be out for the year. I knew he definitely wasn't coming back in that game when I saw he couldn't even grip the ball. So tough break for the Bengals. Like I said, it's a wasted season because you have the roster, you have the talent to be a contender. And he's just been battling injuries all year since training camp. And just that's a tough break for a good guy that, like I said, a season that's down the drain. It was an ugly card. I was traveling and stuff like that too. That's why I didn't give out a play. But it was an ugly card overall. But one thing we got to start putting respect on, you know, the Cowboys are going to be the Cowboys. When it comes down to the big games, we talked about it. I'm never, ever, ever financially trusting, or not financially even, trusting Dak to win any big games. But we got to start putting some respect on the Cowboys covering the spread. Because every time they play somebody bad, they take care of business. They beat up the bad teams. That's something we got to stop letting slide. The Giants, we saw it, absolutely pummeled them, covered the 17.5, no problem. You didn't have to sweat. You didn't have to watch the game at all. Yesterday, same thing, Panthers 10.5. Didn't have to sweat. They beat them 33-10. They are covering machines. We got to start putting respect on that. When Dallas plays a bad team, no matter what that line is, take it. I don't know if they got something to prove or they just like beating up bad teams. But when they get a bad team or they get a bad opponent on their schedule, they take care of business. That's something I'm not letting slide anymore. I remember a buddy texted me like, yo, is 17.5 too much? And I said, absolutely normally. In a division game, absolutely. I was like, but then it's DeVito. But crazy, DeVito's got more touchdown passes than Zach Wilson in less games. Jesus. But shout out to the Cowboys, man. Covering machines. When the Cowboys got a bad team, lock it up. Chargers, surprise, surprise. Another 3-point loss. Surprise, surprise. We literally said this last show. They have the most losses by 3 points or more since 2020. It is a joke. It doesn't matter who the head coach is. It doesn't matter what's going. They cannot win close games. They can't do it. Can't do it. They won't do it. They haven't done it. And until it changes, another thing where we just have to fade because they cannot win a close game. A 3-point loss to a team that's barely got their head above water. I mean, the Packers are now 4-6. A lot of question marks around Jordan Love. And the Chargers are a team that should at least be a playoff team. Are they a contender? Absolutely not. But at least a playoff team cannot win a game by 3 points or less. It's comical. It is absolutely comical. Texans, I had a little parlay going on. I had Texans, the Broncos, and the Lakers. Texans took care of business. Kyler Murray's second start back. I wasn't impressed. He won that first start coming back, but it was at home against the Falcons. So I wasn't impressed. I took C.J. Stroud and the Texans. C.J. Stroud, his name's got to start popping up in MVP conversations. I don't understand why it's not. I mean, I get Lamar. What Lamar Jackson's doing is phenomenal too, but what C.J. Stroud is doing as a rookie and the way he's just he's just become an instant pro overnight. It takes care of the football, doesn't make any mistakes, got these guys believing, has the whole team believing. His name's got to start being mentioned. Will he win it? That's a whole different conversation. But his name's got to start getting brought up. Because this team now, the Houston Texans now are 6-4 with a chance to win the division. A legit chance to win the division. They sit a game behind the Jaguars. His name's got to start being brought up. It's unbelievable. I think, what does he have, 2 picks all year? Let me double check this. Oh, he actually had a bad game yesterday, too. Stats. He has 5 now in the year. But he had a bad game yesterday. He had 3 yesterday. But 17 touchdowns, 5 picks. So before yesterday, we had 17 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. On a rookie, a team that won 3 games last year, now has a chance the next season to win this division. Name's got to be brought up. Name has got to start being brought up in the MVP talks. Bills, Jets, nothing to talk about there. I did see briefly that someone was seriously injured, though, so prayers up for that. I don't know all the details. Like I said, I really didn't get to watch any games or anything like that, but I did see quickly that someone was getting carted off, so prayers up for that player and his family. I'm never going to lie to you guys. I'm always transparent in my plays and everything like that. I don't know it all. I don't know every single thing. I have a life. Sometimes I can't see everything, so I do know that someone was seriously injured, though, and like I said, prayers up, speedy recovery, because this is a dangerous game. That's another thing, too, we got to talk about before I move on to tonight's play. And once again, I appreciate you guys joining with me and rocking with me another week right here on Millions on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. The NFL is a shit product. And I've been saying this for about 4 years now, since we started this show. This product sucks. The reason it's so successful is because of the gambling, or because of the fantasy football, and because it has such a shortened season. I remember, I'm going to post a clip of it too, with the Bengals-Ravens game. With the passing, the NFL's got to a point where receivers look more to get the flag than they look to make the catch. That's how bad it's gotten. Guys would rather get the 15-yard penalty for pass interference than actually make the reception. It's a joke. That game Thursday before Burrow got hurt was just even tough to watch. I think it was the drive before half where the Ravens started on the 25, and because of 2 penalties, they get down the field and end up scoring a touchdown. It sucks. Sometimes it really is tough to watch with the replays and the penalties and dudes crying and just looking for a flag. We've gotten to a point where elite receivers are looking for flags more than they're looking to make the catch. This product sucks. It's tough to watch. The game slows down so much because of it. And the only reason it is as successful as it is because it has a short season. It's here and it's gone. That's why we're so invested. That's why it matters to us so much on Sundays, to make sure we don't miss a game. We want to sit and drink beer and eat wings and sit and watch it because it's here today, gone tomorrow. But as a product overall, when you really sit down and watch these games and watch the officiating and the replays and the spot, it's draining. It's literally draining. And it's gotten away with it so long because of the popularity, because of the fantasy football, because of the parlays and the gambling and first touchdown score and everything like that. This product sucks. It's not good. It's going to continue to make the most money. It's going to continue to be number one, but it's not good. It is not good. And sometimes it literally is brutal to watch. It literally is tough to watch. Vikings, Broncos, like I said, I had Denver in that parlay that I had going on. I just thought Vikings coming in 5-game winning streak. Thought that Joshua Dobbs juice was going to wear off a little bit in that altitude. But it was a tough game. It was a battle. The Broncos were able to come back. Their defense was able to force some turnovers. I saw RG3 going crazy on Twitter talk about, oh, y'all, that was disrespecting Russell Wilson. Y'all real quiet now. Listen, Russ is having a good year. Listen, it's not a mystery. We came at Russell Wilson last year because he sucked. Now, do a lot of us think he's a little weird and a little corny and stuff like that? Yeah, of course. But does that matter? Absolutely not. Not to me, it don't. I don't care. Dude might be a Hall of Famer. I don't care if he's corny. I care that he played like trash all year. Some of it he was hurt, came back, still sucked. It wasn't good. That's why there was hate. It's not no hate now because he's rejuvenated. No, he's doing what he was supposed to do. He's doing what he's paid to do. He's playing at the level he's supposed to be playing at. He was terrible. He was terrible in Denver. Some of that could have been coaching. Some of that could have been the injury. But he was bad. Bad. And now he's having a good year. They've turned around. They've gotten big wins, beat the Bills, beat the Chiefs. Came back yesterday. He threw a game-winning touchdown. Doing what he's supposed to do. We're not going to praise him now. We've always had respect for Russ. But it was looking like, was it really him? Or was it Pete Carroll in that defense? And Marshawn Lynch that was carrying him? Because he wasn't getting it done. He's having a much better year. Listen, I still don't think the Broncos are, once again, they're not a contender. Can they make the playoffs? Yeah, sure, cool. But that defense is stout. They kept them in that game because going into the fourth quarter, the Broncos were 1 for 8 on third down. That's on Russ. You gotta convert. He's got to move the chains. But this year, yes, he's having a good season. There's no denying that. 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's having a very good season. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's living up to his expectations. He's not exceeding them. He's living up to his name. He's doing what he's supposed to do. So we're not being quiet. We're not changing our mind. It's not like we never saw him play and we just started hating on him. No, he has a track record. This man has been to 3 Super Bowls. He's won 2. We get it. We know who he is. But last year he was awful. And now he's living up to expectations, not exceeding, living up to expectations, being the player he's supposed to be. Moving on to the NBA, where we got tonight's Snooze or Lose pick. Some games are already kicked off. Our play kicks off at 8, so you can still lock it in. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, where I give out our play every single day. I didn't give out a play yesterday. Like I said, I was running around. I did do that little parlay in. But Saturday, before I give out this play, another reason I didn't give out a play yesterday, Saturday, man. So I don't know if you guys saw it. Kevin Durant came out and said, you guys are always cussing us out and coming at us when your parlays don't hit because of us. For example, if he's supposed to get 28 points and he has 25 and your parlay loses, people are cursing at him, going at him. A lot of athletes deal with that. And they don't care. Rightfully so. I 100% get it. I get it. They don't care. They don't care. If our parlays don't hit, our straight bets don't hit, our prop bets don't hit, they do not care. But what I do care about, and this is not just Kevin Durant, with the Warriors, we had the Warriors on Saturday. And what I do care about, though, is you may not care about my bet. You may not care about my props, my parlays, whatever. You may not care. But what you should care about, though, is still playing the game the right way. And Saturday night, the Warriors did not play basketball the right way. Saturday night, a team on a 5-game losing streak who got Steph Curry back after missing a few games, he was able to play. You're playing a team in your own building that just beat you by 20 2 days prior. You go up 3 with a second left on the clock. 1.0 left on the clock. You're up 3. This is basketball. First of all, you're in need of wins. Clay has been awful. Draymond suspended. Like I said, you're getting Steph coming back to help you out to try and end this losing streak where he's clearly not 100%. And he hasn't been getting any help all year. You're up 3. Basketball says when that team inbounds the ball, you foul them. You do not give them a chance to make the 3 and tie the game and force overtime. As soon as the ball is caught in bounds, you foul them. You make them go to the line. They're going to hit the first one, and then they're going to have to try and miss the second one and get the rebound and tip it back in. And the chances of that are very low. But what did you do? You let Chet Holmgren catch the ball with his back to the basket and turn around and hit a three to force overtime, and then ended up losing the game in OT. So you may not care about my bet. You may not care about people's parlays, props, all that stuff, but you should care about playing the game the right way. That was the wrong play to make. It's as simple as that. That's basketball one-on-one, especially, like I said, a team in desperate need of a win on a 5-game losing streak where Klay Thompson looks like a shell of himself, Draymond suspended, Steph's not 100%. You need these dubs. You need these wins. It's very simple. As soon as the ball was caught, you don't even give him a chance to look at the basket. And the fact that he caught it with his back to the basket is even crazier. You let him catch it with his back to the basket and turn around and shoot when all you had to do was grab him as soon as he caught it. The second he caught it, grab him. You make him go to the line. The chances of him hitting that first one, missing the second one, them getting it and getting the shot off and tipping it and whatever, 1 in a million. If that happens, then hats off to them. Hats off to them. But the fact that you let them catch it, turn around and knock down the three, you deserve to lose in overtime. You deserve to lose that game. Now you're on a 6-game losing streak, and you costed us our money. So, yeah, you may not care, but you should care about playing basketball the right way, because that's 101. If this was the first game of the season, yeah, whatever, let it fly, whatever, who cares? If he hits it, he hits it. But it ain't the first game of the season. And yes, it ain't January either, but you're in a funk. You're in a funk. You need these dubs. First of all, you were up 14 and blew that lead. You blew a 14-point lead late. You up 14 in the third quarter, blew it. A. Wiggins knocks down a three to give you the lead with 1.2 left. A win you desperately need, and you choked it away. So if you don't care about our bets, fine. But care about playing the game the right way. It's as simple as that. Tonight's Snooze You Lose pick, we're staying in the NBA. We're going with the Heat over the Bulls money line. It's at -120. Miami, missing Tyler Hero, but he's missed a few games, though. They just played Chicago in Chicago. A game where they were up 22-1 very early. I know it's basketball. Everybody goes on runs, but a game they looked like they were going to run away with. The Bulls battled back. Still, even in the second half, they were able to erase a 21-point deficit and come back and win this game. So I think Miami bounces back tonight. Doesn't blow the lead late in the fourth quarter. Holds on. It's hard to beat a team back-to-back. And this isn't one of those home and homes. Both games have been in Chicago, so there's no travel involved. So I think Miami comes out tonight. I hope a little upset. I hope a little hungry to take care of business and beat Chicago after blowing that big lead on what day was that? They blew that lead on Saturday. So to bounce back tonight, to start our week off right. And the Bulls are just that team's going to get broken up. They're 5-9 in the season. Also, the Heat were on a 7-game winning streak before that loss. They have won 7 straight. So I hope they're a little frustrated. Let me just double check. 2, 4, 6. Yep, they were on a 7-game winning streak before that loss. So I hope they're a little upset after the Bulls ending their 7-game winning streak and blowing a 21-point lead. I hope they come out tonight. Eric Spoelstra has them motivated, has them focused to come out and take care of business, win this game against a team that's going to be broken up soon. We already have heard the rumors that Zach LaVine's on the move. He wants to go to either Philly, LA, or Miami. So that team looks like it's going to get broken up. It's just not working out. I mean, you have DeMar DeRozan, you have Caruso, but it just ain't clicking. So it's definitely tension. There's definitely tension and turmoil in that locker room. I don't think coming back from 21 and winning that game is going to bring this team together. It clearly looks like LaVine wants out. I mean, the Bulls are 5-9 in the year. Like I said, Miami was playing very well before blowing that 21 point lead, where they were playing very well, 1-7 straight. So that's our play tonight. Kicks off at 8 o'clock. Still lock it in. We're going with the Heat money line to bounce back after blowing that lead and take care of business against the Bulls. And that's pretty much all for me, guys, man. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping it's really gonna be a great Monday Night Football game. I'm looking forward to it. I do got some small money on the Chiefs money line, revenge factor against the Super Bowl loss, and their defense. If they can contain the run, that's what it's gonna be. If their secondary's done what they're supposed to do, we know their front seven gets after it. They have to stop the run, neutralize Jalen Hurts, neutralize Swift, get Mahomes on the field, that he could do what he do. Crowd's going to be rocking an Arrowhead. I like Chiefs money line. Our official Snooze You Lose play, though, is Heat money line tonight against the Bulls, looking to bounce back. And the NHL, I did sprinkle also something on Colorado. They burned us a few days ago. They went to a little funk, but they won 3 straight sets. Play Nashville. Nashville not that great, 6-10 on the year. Division game where so far this year, Colorado's 3-1 against the division, while Nashville is 1-2. So nothing crazy, but looking at the Avs, big game tonight for the Rangers. They're playing the Stars. Shout out to the Rangers, man. What a start to the year. The team is absolutely on fire. They got 3 goalies getting it done. 12-2-1 on the year. Igor's back, though. Jonathan Quick's been holding it down. I mean, this team looks good. There's times early in the season you never want to get too excited. You never want to, set yourself up to be let down. But this team looks good. They got depth. Their young players are looking like they're maturing. Lafreniere's playing good. Jimmy Vesey's playing good. Keandre Miller's playing good. The Rangers are scary. And I hope they keep it up. I hope they stay healthy. Chris Kreider's going to do what he does, get the dirty goals in front of the net. Panarin's look good. Even Mika hasn't even played great yet. Mika's advantage hasn't even gotten going yet. This team looks good, and I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to be in the Garden soon after the holidays. But 12-2-1, I did not expect to start the season. I did not expect that. But this team looks good, and I'm jacked up, and I'm happy for it. So a quick recap. I got something small on the Avs. Actually, our guy Bet the House, that's his official play, is Colorado in regulation. Don't forget to follow him, _Bet the House _. That is his official play, Colorado in regulation. So I'm riding with him on that. I do like the Chiefs money line, but our official play is Miami money line against the Bulls to bounce back. And once again, NBA players, you don't care about all sports actually, NBA, NFL guys, you don't care about our bets, you don't care about our parlays, our props, whatever, that's fine. Still play the game the right way. I get it. I'm not really a huge prop guy. I've done a few. I've dabbled here and there. I remember we hit the Tyrese Maxey one, stuff like that. I've dabbled, but I understand. A guy may not drop 25 every night that he's supposed to, or 22 or whatever. It happens. You have bad shooting nights. They got a lot going on in their mind. It happens. But play the game the right way. At the end of the day, that's important. Betting or not, play the game the right way. There's no reason Golden State should have lost that game on Saturday. Inexcusable. Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Chris Paul, all these vets. Come on, foul. You foul. You don't give them a chance to shoot that shot. And you got exactly what you deserve. You made the wrong play, and then you ended up losing an OT. That's how the cookie crumbles. But I appreciate you guys. Follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Bookie. We'll be back again next week, live for all millions. Thank you for everybody watching on YouTube as well, too. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. As always, in the words of the icon, Billy Walters, I've had some losing weeks. I've had some losing months. Never had a losing year. Snooze You Lose podcast. Till next time.